Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. And today we're gonna look at the list of autumn themed or Halloween themed palettes. I every 3 months I kind of create like collection of palettes that I want to use more in that specific season. And for me, autumn starts with the 1st September. That's just how I roll. If it starts differently for you, then obviously adjust it to your own preferences. But for me, autumn is from beginning of September to the end of November. And I've picked out 8 palettes that I think either have autumnal color story and or Halloween inspired theme or like cover or something like that. So let's jump right into it. The first palette is the Shall We Makeup Liana eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna start at the bottom, and we're gonna go to my like favorite palettes that I feel like are the best for autumn, and I think I'm gonna use the most. So we're gonna start with the Shall We Makeup Liana eyeshadow palette. This is a very small palette. It only has 4 shades. As you can see, one of mine already has pan, because this palette is super small, super tiny. I think you get like 1 gram of product, which is not all that much. And I've picked it out because it has this beautiful multi-chrome that has like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you, but it has like a red to orange to yellow to green almost shift. Here you can see. So I feel like that's very autumnal, and then these like greens, obviously also very autumnal. I love these shades. Beautiful shimmer, beautiful duochrome, very sparkly inner corner eyelids, and beautiful matte shade. The only reason why it's here is because it's a very small palette, and it pretty much like the main shade is this one, so obviously it couldn't be anywhere like further up, but I wanted to mention it because I think it's a beautiful palette, and I definitely will reach out for it, hopefully a lot throughout the autumn season. Then the next spot will be the Solmane 2 eyeshadow palette from Udens Eye. This one came out last year, either end of summer or beginning of autumn. And I think especially the last row, that's definitely autumn and Halloween. Like, this is perfect pumpkin color story, especially the last row. When you pair these 2 mattes, it's just the perfect pumpkin shade. And also the purples, I feel like those are very autumnal. Turquoises, also very autumnal. I feel like you can see, especially like when you pull out autumn color story, like for if you're you know how you can divide clothes and colors of clothing into season to like match your complexion and hair and all that kind of stuff. I know that people who are like kind of in the autumnal color story, there's usually like oranges, but also oranges, browns, but also like turquoises and royal blues. So I feel like this is very nice, kind of going from summer to autumn color story. And I really like this one, and I will get a lot of uses out of it, especially since it has a lot of colors and a lot of different kind of textures, shades. I'm gonna be able to create a lot with these, and I love working with this palette. But because it's the oldest palette from all of these, I noticed that some of the mattes are some of the shimmers are a little bit more drier than the current than the current Odin's Eye formula, so that's just why it's here. But it's still very easy to use and it still works. But I have to use the shimmers more with my finger. It usually doesn't work for me all that great with brush these days, or I would have to spray, but I usually don't do that. I just use normal brush. So this is the Solmone palette. Then the next we have the Merry Christmas palette from Odin's Eye. This was released last year, and I know it's a Christmas palette, but when you look at the color story, also, sorry that mine is super dirty, but I use it. So this, like these four shades are very pumpkiny. Then you have the greens, which again, I feel like green belongs to fall. You have red, you have purple, which I feel like also kind of belong to fall, as well as the golden one. These two shades I don't really use them because I don't like them, but because I don't like how they perform. But I think the whole color story is more fall than, I mean, yes, there's also the Christmas colors. Green and red are also Christmas colors, I get it, but I feel like a lot of these also just are very very fall appropriate. You know, like you have the swampy green, you have the neutrals, you have this very pumpkiny orangey shade. I'm actually gonna try to show you. Like it's a very orange, very beautiful. I love that shade. And when I got this palette in November last year, I believe, I wore it for the November. I worn it a lot in November because it's still like kind of fall, right? So definitely love this one, and I have to try it with the green shades because I feel like that would also be very, very, very cute combo. So that's for this palette, but since it's like more toward since it's more like appropriate for Christmas, it's not that far in the list, and also because I have more fall appropriate palettes. Then we have the newest palette of this bunch, and this is the Nightshade palette by Doodles by the Bunny and Gourmand Girls. There should be another release from Gourmand Girls for autumn, but I don't know when they will release it, and I don't know when it's gonna come to Europe and when I'm gonna get it. So, but I think this color story also has a lot of fall appropriate colors. You have the greens, more those like kind of poisonous colors, like the purples and stuff, which again I feel like this is very, I don't know if this is completely fall color story, but it's definitely Halloweeny, at least in my opinion. This is very Halloweeny, so I really love this one. This one is new to my new in my collection. I think I've used this palette 6 times so far, and yeah, very very love this one, and I will use it a lot. So this one is beautiful. Then next palette, and I think this is gonna be like the best palette I've tried this year. Probably, I don't know if something's gonna top it. Is the Serpent palette by Mika Beauty Shop and Marta's Makeup. This was palette that I've also picked out for summer, but I feel like the color story and the cover art also goes well with autumn. Like you have the mushrooms, sunflowers, which I feel like, I know they're like sunflowers, so it's more summer, but I don't know why, but I always think about sunflowers in like October and around that time. I don't actually know when you're supposed to harvest them, but it just, I don't know, the whole color cover art, there's like autumnal, there's like fall theme in my opinion. And then the color story, as you can see, there's like oranges, greens, kind of more like swampy, grungy colors. You have some like pinks, purples, and also like the shade names like Venom, Antidote, Immortality, Reincarnation. Like I feel like that's also kind of Halloweeny color story. So yeah, this one's beautiful. I absolutely love these shades. They're so, so pretty. The mattes are so easy to use. The shimmers are stunning. They're pretty much all duochromes. This one is just like toppery shade. And this one is kind of like a army green, but all of the other ones have some kind of shift to them, so either multichrome or duochrome, and they're just beautiful, and I love this, and I have to use it more, and I feel like I will throughout autumn. So I love this one. So, so beautiful. Then the third spot will be the Unearthly Cosmetics Lore palette. I have the big version. I know that Unearthly reformulated it, and it's in like a smaller packaging, but I have the big packaging. And first of all, the cover art, like obviously it's kind of like spooky. I feel like all of Unearthly palettes are kind of Halloween or like spooky themed, right? I will I am planning on getting the Halloween box with the Halloween palette, but obviously that will ship in October, so God knows when it's gonna get to me. But I will have that one, but obviously I don't have it yet. And I also want the Fall Magic from Unearthly, the reformulated one. But since I don't have them yet, and I don't think I'm gonna have them soon, like I think it's not gonna be sooner than in November, since it takes so long to actually get here to Europe. So this is the only Unearthly palette so far, and I love the color story. Like you have the oranges, the pinks, the greens, the kind of turquoisey color. I feel like this is exactly the turquoisey color that represents fall, and this whole color story is just fall for me. Like it's all autumn, and I love this. I don't actually mind that it's like a bigger packaging, because obviously I used this shade a lot as a blush, and I used this multichrome a lot as a highlighter, so I feel like that's actually really cool, and I love this color story. The mattes are really easy to use, and the shimmers are so pretty, and they last all day without creasing, which is something that I also really enjoy. So love this one, and I love snakes, so this one definitely is like a special palette for me. Then number 2 obviously has to be the Shroud Cosmetics and Betty Bean Hello Bean palette. I also have the Moonfall palette, but I feel like that one is more wintry. But the Hello Bean palette, she's so stunning. I love this. This is just a perfect Halloween palette. Actually, all the first 3 spots are all like Halloween themed palette, because for me, like the best part about fall, the best part about autumn is Halloween. Even though I'm from Europe and I don't actually celebrate it, but I love everything about Halloween. I love the design, the kind of decorations, all the colors and everything. So this one definitely has to be here. And the only reason why it's on the second spot and not the first one is because the Spooked palette is a lot bigger and you have a lot more options. But I love the colors here. Love that you have greens, oranges, then kind of like a purpley shade. Love this shade Ghoulish, which is like a white based shimmer with green and yellow reflection. Love this duochrome, the Black Flame. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you. Maybe slightly. It goes from like purple to green. I think you can see it a little bit in the mirror. Maybe slightly. Yeah, here. So it goes from purple to green, which that goes with the packaging. And yeah, all of these shades, the shade names, the whole thing, it's just perfect. perfect Halloween palette. And I haven't used this one all that much. I think I've only used it 8 times so far, because I've got this palette in the spring this year. So obviously I didn't use it all that much, but I will use it a lot more throughout this season. And then we have the Doodles by the Bunny and with Gourmand Girls collaboration. This is the Spooked palette that came out last year. I actually got it also around spring this year on Monolith. And this one I also used it around 8 times. Again, like since I got it in the spring, there wasn't a lot of reasons for me to use this palette, but I love it. The packaging, the color story, everything about this just screams fall and Halloween. And I love that you have more like neutral kind of fall themed fall colors in the matte section, and then really fun colors in the shimmer section. So you have the greens, you have the kind of oranges, pinks, purples, dark colors, light colors. I think this is absolutely beautiful color story, and it definitely deserves the first spot. I can't wait to see what they're gonna come up with for this year, because this one is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to see this year's palette for Halloween. So yeah, this one definitely wins. So those are kind of all of the palettes. I have them in like I'm gonna try to show you. I have them in this like acrylic container, and the reason for that is that I wanna have it on the shelf, kind of on a display, so that I can easily see it and I can just easily grab it, and I can always just remember to use them. So those are all the palettes, and as I said, I just absolutely love them, and I think they're just absolutely stunning, and I can't wait for fall to do all the Halloween looks. Like, I genuinely cannot wait. It's gonna be so much fun. It's my favorite season of the year, and I can't wait for the Halloween releases of this year, because I know a lot of brands will do some sort of Halloween release. So far, I wasn't all that impressed with what's been sneak peeked. So that's it for this video. Let me know what are your picks for what palettes did you pick for autumn, or if you always use like all the palettes. I'm obviously gonna use my entire collection. This is just like to remember to use them more and to actually get a lot of uses out of them. But yeah, let me know what palettes do you plan on using for Halloween and fall, or just what's your favorite autumn palette in your collection. And let me know if there is some kind of Halloween release that you're really excited for. I will also be very happy for that, because I'm always on the hunt for Halloween palettes. And yeah, that will be it for me. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great fall, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. So bye, and have a great day.